Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at Lucasfilm. Or I guess I should say more specifically, we're going to be looking at the kind of people that are working at Lucasfilm. The kind of people that are working at Lucasfilm now. And once I show you what I have to show you here in this video, you're going to find out why so many people have just given up on Disney, why so many people, or I guess I should say more specifically, they're looking at Lucasfilm, Star Wars in particular, and they're just completely unimpressed, or they're laughing, or they're just done because again, everything coming out of Lucasfilm right now is just honestly, again, like I said, it either makes you laugh or it just once again reinforces why you gave up on Star Wars a long time ago. But before we get to that, I just want to show you this in particular. Now, I don't know if you know, but a little bit of context for anyone who doesn't. Apparently, there was some investor call or whatever the fuck. I don't know what it is, but it had the CEO, Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, and he was talking about some of the things that are going on in Disney right now, or I guess say he's talking about what's going on with Marvel and the MCU, and of course he went on to talk about Lucasfilm and Star Wars. And as you can see right there, Disney CEO Bob Chapek lavishes praise on Kathleen Kennedy a month after she had a spokesman fire and then lie about Gina Carano. So basically, once again, Disney is lying, putting on this air of, oh, no, no, everything is going so well. Don't worry, all of you investors, the people who give us our money, do not worry, everything is fine, even though we as fans know that it is not fine. Anyone who has been paying attention knows that it is not fine. It has never been fine. It hasn't been fine for a long, long time. But just to show you again, these are the kind of people who work at Disney, or at least the higher ups over Disney. They are people who lie, who spread misinformation, who put on this air of, oh, we're such a great company, we care about our employees, everything is fine, people love our products. And we all know it's just complete BS. We all know it's BS. We all know this. Like, you don't need me to tell you this. And just to show you again before I get to the actual evidence of what's going on, or just to evidence of the kind of people that are working at Lucasfilm and why so many people again have just given up. Before that, let me just direct your attention to another article. Look at this. The 2 days, just 2 days after CEO Bob Chapek touted his optimism about the company, Disney announces closure of 60 stores. And this came after this, by the way. 60 of Disney's stores closed. Oh, but don't worry, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. 2 days after Disney CEO Chapek announced his optimism about the company's future, the Walt Disney Company announced they are shutting down at least 60 Disney stores throughout North America. Disney CEO Bob Chapek appeared at the Morgan Stanley Technology, Media, and Telecommunications Conference, where he participated in a question and answer session, and that's you can see it right here. This is a screenshot from. They did it basically over a Zoom call. But yeah, everything is not fine over at Disney. Now, let's move on over to Lucasfilm and sort of the main point of the video. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but Disney basic, or I guess Star Wars, like they finally put out the High Republic, this thing that they have been promoting for a while now. They're saying that, oh, this is our new initiative, like we're finally going to publish all these books which are going to be all interconnected, and they're going to tell this one big overarching story and blah blah blah, and how great it is. But guess what? That project was basically dead on arrival. It was DOA. Like, people are not buying this. People are not buying their books. They're not buying their comics. I don't know if there's going to be games in the future, but I guarantee you they're not going to buy it. It's just, it's a failure. It's a failure. There's no if ands, or buts about it. It is a failure. And just to show you again the kind of failure that it is, I'd like to show you something from the High Republic, and this, once again, once you see it, it'll show you again the kind of people that are working at Lucasfilm. Now you know how a lot of people at Lucasfilm, not at Lucasfilm, but a lot of people over the years, whether it's on this platform or on Twitter, have said multiple times that Disney right now has an obvious agenda. How it's kind of obvious what it is. You don't need me to tell you what it is. It's kind of obvious just by looking at their product. And if you want even further proof from that, because once they show you this, I don't think you can once again, if you're out there and you're still saying that anyone who's out there saying that Disney has an agenda against a certain group of people and that that they're just a bunch of liars, they're just chasing boogeymen, let me show you this and see if you can still argue against this. Let me just show you this. So this, I just found this article. New Star Wars The High Republic villain translates to boys in Icelandic. Now this is the villain that you can kind of see right there. This is just a full shot of the villain. Let me just get rid of this. It's just annoying. Anyway, look at this. This is the villain right here in the actual comic, and they're called the Drengir. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, but there it is. You can see the name right there, and this is what they look like. And it's constantly meat. I guess he's hungry or whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and just take a look at this. This is the artist's, I guess, rendition of what it actually looks like. Okay, there it is. Now, let's just go ahead and take a look at the official description of this villain. Chock full of tentacles, teeth, and thorns, the Drengir are horrific sentient plant-like creatures that have once again been released upon the galaxy. Carnivorous, amorphous, and unsettling, the Drengir aim to reap a terrible harvest across the galactic frontier. Now that alone, okay, it doesn't really sound bad, whatever. But again, look at the name. Look at the name they used. Just for this villain and what it looks like and how they described it. Because someone actually translated it and it literally translates to boys. They literally named a villain in the they introduced in this High Republic shit where its name literally in another language literally translates to boys. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to say this is a coincidence, and you know what? I'm inclined to believe you. I don't know if anyone at Lucasfilm is honestly that smart, but at the same time, considering what we've seen from them over the years, I honestly have no problem believing that this was done on purpose. And look at this. The name apparently also translates to valiant, gallant, chivalrous man in Old Norse. Other definitions include lad, youth, a boy, and one who is bold, reckless, or inexperienced. Well, that pretty much makes sense. Again, it's just these are the people who work at Lucasfilm. These horrible, spiteful, pathetic, petty little people who actually went out there and named a villain that looks like this, a name that in another language literally translates to boys and everything else. And in Old Norse, look at what it translates to: valiant, gallant, chivalrous man. Chivalry, you know, the thing that these fucking losers on Twitter hate. Whenever a man is just in any way just nice to a woman, they say apparently he's being sexist and patriarchy or whatever the fuck. These are the kind of people who work at Lucasfilm, ladies and gentlemen. Now, just putting the pettiness aside, I have something else to show you that not only will show you that it'll show you more, probably even worse than just being petty and spiteful, at least for me. What's even worse is that they're uncreative. They are uncreative. And because I know what's coming, I feel like a lot of you, if you've been keeping up with online, if you've been keeping up with Star Wars online, you probably already know what I'm about to show you. And I'm not gonna lie, a part of me is really trying to keep myself from laughing. So let's just go ahead and take a look at a new character that they just introduced in the High Republic. Are you ready for it? And again, a perfect example of the kind of talent that work at Lucasfilm at the moment. This is the new character. Literally a rock. It's a fucking rock that is unironically named Geode. Like I said, I'm really trying to keep myself from laughing because I kind of want to focus on the video. This is what they're giving us. Now, just to make it clear, this isn't official concept art from Lucasfilm, from Star Wars: The High Republic. Just like how you've seen online about all the different characters that are introduced, how they always introduce them like this. They've got this outline right here. It says concept art, and you've got the logo for the High Republic. This was made by a fan. I don't know if he or she's technically a fan of the High Republic, but this was technically made by a fan. This isn't official concept art from Lucasfilm, because the real thing actually looks worse. And I'm not gonna lie, after seeing the real thing, this actually looks kind of better. No, a lot better. Are you ready to see what the real thing looks like? In case you don't know. Oh, and just to let you know, Geode happens to also be the navigator of the ship. Of a ship called the Vessel. We have a rock named Geode and a ship called Vessel. Like I said, for me, probably even worse than just being petty and spiteful are just people who are completely uncreative. Uncreative people who are working now in what used to be the biggest franchise in history. You know what, Lucasfilm, if by some chance, or sorry, Disney, if by some chance you're listening to this, I hope those $4 billion were worth it. I hope you're all sitting at home just stewing in your regret. You spent $4 billion on this franchise, and you've basically flushed it down the toilet. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, what about the $2 billion The Force Awakens made? What about the $1 billion each that The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker made? That's not enough. And yes, I know for any other franchise that's insane, that's great, but not for Star Wars. Those movies should have easily made $2 billion. $2 billion should have been easy for them. But they didn't. Look at the box office for each of those films. They constantly got lower. And not just a little bit lower, they kept losing a lot of money. The Last Jedi barely made half of what The Force Awakens made. And The Rise of Skywalker barely inched over $1 billion. And that's with a certain country's money that Disney really, really likes to suck, as we've begun to find out in the last couple of months. And yet you look at a movie like Joker, a movie that did not open in that certain country, and it crossed $1 billion on not even close to what to the amount of money that they spent on either of those three films. It made its money back and more. Okay, I've kept you guys waiting long enough. You want to see what the real thing looks like? This is what the real thing looks like. A literal brick. It's a fucking brick. I honestly don't know what else to say. Like, do I seriously need to say anything else? Like, this is where Star Wars is. This is where Star Wars is, ladies and gentlemen. It is filled with uncreative, just uninspired individuals. The best that they could come up with is a brick. A literal brick. All right, I'm just gonna end this video. Okay, I'm getting even more depressed just looking at this. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked my video and if you like what I do here on the channel, guys, please consider supporting my channel by subscribing and clicking on the bell icon. And I, of course, want to give a big thank you to all the people who have subscribed to my channel. I am close to 300 subs. If you want to help me cross that threshold, all you have to do is click on the subscribe button. And if you just want to help me get to that 1,000 mark, just again, head on down and click on the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, please make sure to click also on the bell icon, because that way you will be notified whenever I post a brand new video or whenever I go live. That is all I have to say. Thank you so much again. Please remember to stay safe and take care of yourselves, and please join me for my next video. Bye for now.